Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks. I just helped somebody find a ghost item, and I think I figured out how they got the ghost item. You had your duplicate distance set on 12 inches, so you might have inadvertently hit one and duplicated something over, and it picked up that ghost item. And then she told me she had trouble, uh, and she did a good job, or they did. I'm going to quit using gender because I get so many emails. She had trouble getting these lined up at an angle. So I'm just going to kind of go through this. Hopefully, I have not practiced this. I'm going to get a polygon, a 12-sided polygon. And I'm going to draw a polygon. Now I'm going to rotate it 15 degrees. That gives me that flat side. And I'm going to make it 12 inches by 12 inches. I'm going to hit P. Now, I'm going to move that one out of the way. Whoop. I'm going to change my nudge factor to 14 or so. And I said nudge distance, I meant duplicate distance a while ago. Let's bring this in and hit P. And I need some reference for my holes. So I'm going to draw another polygon, and I'm going to rotate it 15 degrees. And I'm going to hit P. Now I'm going to take the shift key and expand it out to about the center of those dots. And I can already see that maybe I'm off a little bit, or the way she did is off a little bit. But we're going to remedy that, I think. Now I'm going to Control D, and then I'm going to bring one in. Holding down the shift key, I'm going to bring it into where that's on the inside of that, okay? Now I can nudge that over and that one over. Now I need to nudge this out of the way and nudge this back. So I need that size of hole. So I'm just going to use Smart Fill tool and fill that in. And I'm going to hit P, put it in the center of the page. I'm going to left click, right click. So now we need to do some angles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control G to group it, and I'm going to rotate it 15 degrees. That put this straight up and down for my angle. I'm going to go ahead and go group and ungroup. Now I'm going to grab that center dot, and I'm going to shift select this polygon, and I'm going to hit T and put it to the top of the page. But I really want it like on the line. So I'm going to change my nudge factor like to 0.2. And I'm going to have to come from the outside to grab that dot. No, you know what I want? I want it right on that apex. Okay. Now I'm going to hit the plus key, and I'm going to move it up, holding my shift key till it gets to that apex. Now, if you look on these angles, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots. Between those dots, I'm going to go to Effects and Blend, and I'm going to blend 5 times. And I get that angle. That's pretty cool. Now, if we look, that angle goes from that apex to that apex. So what we're going to do, we're going to go and do those first. I'm going to go to Object and break the blend apart. And I'm going to go ahead and go Object and group these together for a second. Now I'm going to Control D to make a duplicate. Double click on it and put our center rotation in the center. And I'm going to rotate it. I think it's going to be 30 degrees. So I'm going to go 30 degrees. So I've got those two, but you know what? They don't go to an angle. I'm making the ones that are to an angle. Oh, I see what I did. I did not rotate my, I need to rotate the whole thing 15 degrees. So I have that flat side, because now I need to go from here to there. So, and I got rid of my holes, so I'm just going to make a new one. And I'm just smart filling, and then I can hit P, put it in the center page. I can left click, and I'm going to right click in red so I'll know what it is. So now I need to go from this, and I'm not going to do I'm just going to put it there. And the good thing about the blend tool, it will blend on that angle. Okay. So now I'm going to grab those two and blend it. So now I've got that angle going right there. Now that center dot will be not needed in a second. And actually I'm not on the apex of the, or not in the middle of that line. I need this to be right there. Now I'm going to grab them both and blend them. Now, it's a blend, but I'm going to go ahead and break the blend apart. I'm going to go ahead and group them together, Control G, and then I'm going to Control D and duplicate it, and I'm going to mirror it. But then I'm going to take this one and put it right there. See what I did? Now, I'm going to ungroup all, and I'm going to get rid of this second dot. So now we're good. Now, if you look, I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, I'm going to group the whole thing together, Control G. We've got some lines between the lines, and we've got 3 dots there. So what I'm going to, and I will have to rotate this here. I'm going to go a negative 15 degrees to get, well, maybe it's a negative 30. Yeah, because there's those dots I need there, and I need another dot there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and ungroup it all because I need my ellipses. I'll keep calling them dots. And I'm going to grab this top dot, and I'm going to Control D to make a duplicate. And I'm going to move it. I mean, I could use my control button to do it. Now there's 4 dots in between them. Okay. I'm going to grab those 2 dots, and I'm going to blend them 4 times. Now those dots are 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? No, it's 3. It's 3 between there. So let me back up and just do 3 because I need 1 in the center. I'm going to go ahead and go to Object, Group, and I need to break the blend apart. Then I'm going to go and ungroup them. I know there's a lot of grouping and ungrouping, but it'll be worth it. Now, I'm going to take this dot and make a duplicate or hit the plus key on the keyboard, and I'm going to move it. No, I'm not yet. I'm not yet. So my nudge factor still set on 0.2. These 3 dots, I'm getting confused. Yes, I'm working on these 3 dots right here. I'm going to nudge them down just a little bit, like she has them a little bit low. You know what, I'm going to change it to 0.1. I know I'm rambling here, but there we go. So those are just inside there. Now we need a dot and 4 dots between here. And that's kind of like an eyeball shot. So what we're going to do, we're going to take that one and make a duplicate. And we're going to put it right here on the indexing line in the center. I don't think that I'm there. And I'm going to nudge it up. It's quite a bit off so I'm going to nudge it up 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I'm going to take this one, make a duplicate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to grab those 2 and I'm just going to blend them twice. I'm hoping this is going to work. This should work. So now I'm going to group all this together. Control G, Control D, and double click on the rotation and put it right here. Sometimes it'll snap right to it, and it did. I think the rotation is going to be 60 degrees. Yep. That doesn't look right. I don't have, I didn't make the dots between, let me just delete that. I didn't make the dots between here, between the 4 between the V, and then we'll be done. So I'm going to ungroup this, and I'm going to grab that one, shift select that one, and there are, in the V, there's 4. Okay, well, See, and one of them is drawn different, so I got a wholly different, total different blend. Let me back up and do this again. See, I'm one of the ellipses isn't good, so I'm going to delete that one. So now I'm going to take this one and hit the plus key and move it to there. Shift select this one. See, I've got something going on. Oh, I'm grabbing the line. So I'm shift selecting those two and hit apply. And there were 4. So we're good. Now, hopefully this will work now. Control G to group, Control D to duplicate. Double click on the rotation and put it, even though I didn't get close, it put it there. Rotate it that 60 degrees. Now, I'm going to have some double lines are the ones I'm clicking to. Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D. Now, the ones, what I should have done is left out one of the circles. And because let me back up here. Okay, let me back out to, I need to delete that circle because that circle is going to be that circle coming around. Control G to group, Control D to duplicate. Double click on the rotation and put it in the center. It's working really well today because it's snapping to it. Now I don't have any duplicate lines. And everything should be equal. Everything should be lined up. We can take away this line and take away this line, and we have that exact same board. You know what? It's not. Well, okay, no big deal. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna hit 14 inches. It's the same thing, but it's not on the. So I'm gonna group this together. Control G. And I'm going to rotate it 15 degrees. Now I'm going to bring this back. Well, maybe it was 30 degrees. No, don't do that, Doug. So I need this to be, I'm a little confused on my degrees. So it needs to be 30 degrees. So now the boards are the same. I got a flat top. I've got 4. And it doesn't look like those dots could have been in a little bit more if it's the true part of the game. So that, this is just a little bit lower if we bring in an index line. No, those are equal. So maybe I did the wrong. No, those are equal. So that's right. It's these 3 that are less than the other one. And what we can do is just take a 2-point line. I know this is confusing. Take a 2-point line and go from there to there. And you can see that these are lower than the other ones. So it should mimic her game perfectly. That's how I would draw it. Now, I just noticed that my dots, these dots need to be moved down more. Hers are more separate, so that's a little bit of a faux pas, but that's not, well, you know what? Let's just fix that. Let's rotate this thing to 0, no, to 15 degrees, and get those dots there. Let's ungroup everything. And let's take those 4 dots. Okay, I've got to ungroup everything. Ungroup all. Now I need to grab those 3 dots or 4 dots, and I'm just going to click off. And as long as I get the dot, I can do it. I'm going to shift select that dot. And you know what? That's a blend. And I think my nudge I should have set my nudge lower. Let's go 0.25. Let's grab that dot, shift select that dot. So this is a group, and I can nudge it down wherever I really wanted it. And then I could actually delete these lines. See, that might be one of my problems. I did not break the blend apart. Whoop, I don't want to delete that one. So we've got it done. Now I'm going to grab, it's real hard to get the, to try to grab those. Well, what we can do is grab all those and shift select that one off, group this together, Control G, Control D to duplicate it, double click on the rotation and put it there. This is a step I wouldn't have needed to do. So we're going to rotate it, I think 60 degrees. Yep. Control D, Control D, Control D. And now those dots are further in. Anyway, I hope that helps somebody a little bit someday, and thank you for watching.